Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy MKS here, back with another video. I'm really knackered, as they would say here in the UK. So I think that's a Cockney, i.e. London term. For those who don't know, Cockney is like a part of London. Well, it's people from a certain part of London, but we use that term in the UK, knackered. So just for those who might be watching from overseas, hopefully I get some viewers from overseas. But anyway, yeah. So I'm a bit under the weather, as we say here in the UK at the moment, but I really wanted to make these videos, so I thought I'd do my best to make them, even though I'm really knackered and whatnot. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed them. These are obviously sticking to the theme of Black History Month, and as I call it, Black History and Empowerment Month. And I would love to read any ideas or suggestions or thoughts that you have. So here goes. So number one, I would love to support and help and encourage somehow. I would love to find. I talked recently about how I would love to have ways, have suggestions on ways I could put my ideas into action, so I can make them actionable, not just think about them, obviously. But hopefully, discussing them on YouTube will build a community of people who can discuss what actions we can take. It's really hard to type and make YouTube videos and stuff like that when you've got cats around. But I certainly find it really hard. But anyway. Not that it's particularly easy anyway to make videos, but for me. But anyway, sorry, get to the point. I'd love to find ways to put my ideas into action and try and help and look at ways I can help and encourage more Black people, especially in America, to set up their own businesses. I'd love to help those who are existing entrepreneurs, MDs, managing directors, CEOs, chief executive officers, chairmen and chairwomen even, or just as much, and young people to get into business and to get started. Those who haven't got started to get started, maybe to have the confidence, and those who are already existing businesses to help to grow their businesses perhaps. And I'd love to share ideas and like see what other ideas people have got as a community where they can help and each other network together, and maybe even help to make more Black millionaires. I often say, like, not that money is everything, but on Mondays and Tuesdays, I like to think, and maybe on Fridays to an extent, I like to think of like business ideas and projects and stuff like that. And I talk about how I would love to support the Black community, as I feel they've gone through a lot of things, through like slavery, colonialism, loss of liberty, basically, and things like that, loss of land and rights, and lots of things like that. But other groups have got reparations, but they haven't. Like the Jewish community got reparations for what happened in the Holocaust. And even Native Americans have got reparations, Japanese Americans and other groups. Well, I mean, they're the three I can think of on the top of my head, but possibly even other groups have got reparations and that kind of thing. So I think it'd be cool to see Black people getting the support they need and like networking together and supporting each other. I think reparations are pointless if they're not united and helping each other. So maybe they could appoint a community leader. But I'd say I would love to support more Black people to become millionaires, maybe. And number two, even to become billionaires. And number three, even to become trillionaires. It'd be interesting if there were some Black people who become trillionaires. Number four, also I'd love to support like Black in Tech. Tech is the New Black. It's a pretty cool channel. There could be also Black is the New Tech, and things like that. So it'd be pretty cool to support Black people in tech and things like that. In America and all around the world. Again, maybe they could even network with each other all around the world. Number five, I would love to support Black ambition generally, and hashtag please buy Black and hashtag please bank Black. I know a lot of the ideas are similar to what I covered on Monday, and what I think of on Mondays generally. But anywho, as I say, I would love to support Black ambitions in business and tech and areas like that. Tech Tuesdays, basically, and that kind of thing. My goodness, it's good to have attention from the cats, but they do when you're typing or trying to do stuff like that is or writing or whatever, it's a bit of a nightmare. Anywho, number six, if they become well, the African Americans or the Black community generally that becomes successful, I would love for them to invest in Italian football and improve relations, and hopefully have academies and sports clubs amongst African Americans and other Black people around the world, and improve relations between Italians and Black people through football, as I often talk about. And it'd be cool to see academies. And I suppose it is a bit of an unfair bias, or an unfair advantage, and basically a biased advantage, which is the same thing, I suppose, because Italian football, as I often mentioned, can be quite racist. But hopefully relations can be improved, and in return, as a reward for me supporting the black community, I hope they'll support Italian football, Italian soccer for any Americans out there. Just to clarify, because I hope Italians won't get into American football, but I hope they'll just stick to football, or soccer, which to me is the proper football, and that's a controversial point. But yeah, I'd love to see more African Americans on that note get into soccer more generally, and again, as a reward for me supporting them, I hope that relations can be improved between Italians and black people through soccer, and that they can help to develop more African Americans. I was going to say Italian Americans, but African Americans like to have their own academies and things like that. But if they do well, maybe they can improve relations by investing in Italian football and donating to Italian football and things like that, especially having shares and equity in Italian football to show what they can achieve, and hopefully that will improve relations, showing what they can contribute to Italian football. I know it's a bit of a biased one for me. Number 7, similar for Celtic. Number 8, as I mentioned yesterday, like working with allies, other people of colour and all that kind of thing. But I think networking together, again, I think if there's going to be reparation, I think it would go a lot further and be a lot better for the black community if they sort of networked together and supported each other and had a community leader or even community leaders in the plural, which helped them to invest that money and invest it on behalf of the community and wanted to see them do well. I suppose someone like Damon John from Shark Tank, I know he already does Black Entrepreneurs Day, but yeah, I hope to encourage things like that to be expanded even more, and like maybe he could help to invest African American or black people's money generally to help it go further, to they make money on top of money. And as I say, I'd love to support black owned businesses, black owned banks and investments, and looking at how they can help to invest, how they can teach each other to invest and things like that. Number 9, I would love for those black people who have done well to inspire their fellow black people and like talk about what's needed to run a business. Like, is planning important? How important is our ideas? How important is taking action? And basically, what does it take to build a great business, and how much hard work is involved? Could you work smart? Does it always have to involve hard work? Could you have fun? The difference to me between smart work and hard work is like smart work to me can be more fun and more long term, and it's towards goals and things like that. But most importantly, I think it's towards more fun, whereas hard work could be things that you hate, which I don't want to hate anyone or anything, which is why I don't work hard. Not really, I'm just joking. But on a serious note, yeah, I'd love to, like, those black people who have done well can inspire others and like sort of say, like mentor others, which I hope to come to perhaps in the future. I know I talked about that yesterday on Mentorship Mondays, but yeah, if they sort of talk about what it takes to run a business. And so I think some of the challenges of running a business, say for instance, as someone who's never run a business myself, but I've often, as someone who's had lots of ideas at the same time, is like the fear of the unknown, like getting started. Can you get the right capital? Do you know enough about business? A lot of challenges I've had are like, you don't have the capital. My dad used to say to me, you don't have the capital to run a business, and some would say you don't know how to run a business, you don't have the experience, or you're not hardworking enough, is what my stepdad used to tell me. And so those are some of the challenges so I think if there's a community of people who help each other, they can say, if someone says I'm a bit nervous about risking my capital and things like that, and other people who have done it said, this is how I did it, this is how I overcame those nerves and got started, and this is how I've developed a business or whatnot. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so they can overcome some of those, probably all of those challenges, hopefully. Like, so fear of the unknown, fear of getting started, fear of failure, fear of losing capital, obviously, and things like that. Obviously, you're risking your own capital. Fear of making a fool of yourself, perhaps, as well, and other such fears that people might have. Again, fear of the unknown, what could go wrong, and things like that. And also the work that might go involved. They could help each other, so it doesn't have to be as hard working if you've got each other's back, because you're supporting each other. How to deal with customers, how to make customers happy, which I think is really important. I think that's probably the most important thing in any business, even more than hard work or anything like that, more than ideas or hard work or action or even or whatever. If you don't have good customers, if you don't have customers who are happy with your business, who don't see it as good, then I don't think it's very good, because I think that's what makes a business good, is It's whether the customers like it, and the customers like buying, and that's why they say the customer is the boss. The customer is the king, and that kind of thing. So yeah, learning how to please customers, how to deal with customer service, how to give your customers a good time, and make them want to come back basically and spend more of their hard-earned money, and appreciating your customers and things like that. But again, having capital, there'd be more capital available. If you're nervous, you'd have someone to talk to who can reassure you. It might not be as hard work as I say if you've got more people and that kind of thing. So I think networking together can overcome some of those challenges. I'd say funding, for instance, could be a major one. Like a lot of people talking about lack of capital. If there are more black venture capitalists and things like that, or venture capitalists generally who invest in the black community, so allies and things like that, I think that would be pretty cool. And maybe like Black Water, which is a military contract, which I talked about again like last week, I think. They came under fire recently because they said something about recolonizing Africa and Latin America and their war properties. So part of me does wonder if you could trust them to invest in the black community and without causing problems. Again, I know I discussed this recently, but if the black community could get in that investment and ensure that it's going to be spent in areas which is going to benefit the black community, and make sure they know how they're going to benefit. Another thing is goal setting on that note, so knowing what you want to achieve. But yeah, if you have any queries or questions or thoughts generally on that, please let me know. And as ever, please get involved in the comments. And number 10, I would love to support young black people to be encouraged in business, tech, and other such areas. So if you disagree with anything I say, or agree with anything I say, or just want to comment, any suggestions, ideas, or whatnot, ideas to me are suggestions anyway, I think I waffle too much, or whatever, or how any advice you could give me on how I can get to my point quicker, perhaps, or anything else you think in the comment section, like how I'll leave on this question: how do you think we can empower how do you think we can empower black people, and especially young black people, as it's Black History Month? And anywho, I am out. Peace and love.